confirm that Ziha Bibo was not one of the 90 high-risk travelers that the RCMP is currently investigating.
Police say the gunman in Wednesday's attack acted alone and recently applied for a passport to go to Syria.
They know they were prepared just for this moment.
New York confirms its first Ebola case. A doctor tests positive after returning home from West Africa. And there's a breakthrough in the medical world. Australian surgeons have transplanted non-living organs. I'm Travis Pera, coming to you from our newsroom here at Humber College North Campus. We're learning more today about the man who went on a shooting rampage on Monday in Ottawa. The RCMP and Ottawa Police held a news conference late yesterday, confirming facts of the shootout in Parliament. RCMP Commissioner Bob Paulson says the RCMP knew 32-year-old Michael Ziha Bibo had applied for a passport and they conducted background checks. Paulson says at the time the RCMP didn't have information that would cause them to believe he was a national security risk. The RCMP says they have been in contact with Ziha Bibo's mother, and she says he was planning to travel to Syria.
We did have an elevated threat level Canada-wide.
I can confirm that Ziha Bibo was not one of the 90 high-risk travelers that the RCMP is currently investigating. According to some accounts, he was an individual who may have held extremist beliefs.
Paulson confirms Ziha Bibo acted alone. However, it is unclear whether he received any help when planning the attack. Paulson says Ziha Bibo used a .30-30 caliber rifle.
It's a common he was prohibited criminally from possessing firearms, and we will determine where that gun came from.
However,
both the RCMP and Ottawa Police continue to investigate the details of the attack. Canadians are paying tribute to the young man who was shot dead in that attack on Monday. Corporal Nathan Cirillo is receiving a hero send-off. A procession will carry his casket along the Highway of Heroes today. There's been an outpouring of emotion in Cirillo's hometown of Hamilton. Flowers, wreaths, and notes of condolences lined the sidewalk outside the John Weir Foote VC Armory. Everyone from friends and family to complete strangers have been showing up to pay their respects outside the Cirillo family home. Corporal Cirillo was a single father and known as a dog lover who worked with rescue pets. As we just told you, the body of Corporal Cirillo is being transported along the Highway of Heroes from Ottawa to his home of Hamilton. The procession left about an hour ago. It's expected to arrive in Hamilton around 6 or 7. The procession will travel along Highway 416 to 401, then 401 to 404. From there, it'll travel to the 407 and then to the 403. It'll leave the highway at the Main Street exit in Hamilton. When Corporal Cirillo was shot on Monday, several brave people rushed to help him. One of them was Barbara Winters, who told her story last night on the CBC radio program As It Happens. Winters spent 17 years in the Naval Reserve and performed CPR on Cirillo moments after the attack. Her interview was heartbreaking to hear.
I told him he was loved and that he was a brave man and that he was a good man. And I said, just think of what you were doing when this happened. Just think you were standing at the cenotaph. You were honoring others. Just think of how proud that will make your family.
Funeral arrangements for Corporal Nathan Cirillo have just been announced. It will take place on Tuesday at noon at Christ Church Cathedral in Hamilton. There will be visitation at Marque Dermondi Funeral Home in Hamilton this Sunday between 6 and 9 o'clock. There will be another visitation all day Monday. He is expected to be given a full regimental funeral. Overseas, a suspicious package has prompted the evacuation of the Canadian consulate in Istanbul, Turkey. The German and Belgian consulates also received similar packages. Turkish authorities are investigating after yellow powder was found in the letter. One consulate employee came in direct contact with the substance. A New York doctor has tested positive for the deadly Ebola virus. Officials say he used a subway and went to a restaurant before showing any symptoms.
He did not have a stage of disease that creates a risk of contagiousness on the subway. We consider that it is extremely unlikely.
Dr. Craig Spencer was quarantined in the New York hospital yesterday, soon after he reported having fever. This is the first Ebola case reported in the largest city in the U.S. Spencer is a member of Doctors Without Borders and recently returned from West Africa, where he treated Ebola victims. So far, there have been 9 cases of Ebola in the U.S. This outbreak has killed nearly 5,000 people in West Africa. A New York police officer has been critically wounded after a hatchet welding attack yesterday. Police say a man charged at a group of officers and attacked them with a hatchet. He hit one officer in the right arm and a second in the head. Both are now being treated in hospital. The suspect was shot and killed at the scene. In Sydney, Australia, a heart transplant breakthrough. A team of doctors has successfully transplanted a non-living organ.
I feel like I'm 40 years old again.
The patient is 57-year-old Michelle Gribelas. Her doctors used a new technique, a so-called heart-in-a-box machine, to preserve the heart. Until now, doctors have been able to transplant only living organs. The breakthrough will dramatically increase the number of hearts that are available for a transplant. Here at home, an aging school has parents up in arms over their kids' safety. Patrick Valois has more.
I'm not going to put I won't. No.
School was out early for some kids at Secord Elementary School today. A parent-led walkout in protest of a moldy portable that they say needs to be replaced had students leaving at 10 a.m.
Parents are very concerned about the safety. We feel it's very much time for the porta-pack to be replaced and a proper addition brought in. Mold has recently been identified. We're told that the school is safe, but it's a bigger issue than that. It's not just about the mold that's been found. It's a completely systematic problem. It's the tip of the iceberg.
Local MPP Arthur Potts was also on hand to show his support for the parents.
I think they've done the right thing. They're worried about their children's health, and this is no different than a worker's right to safe workplaces. If you think you're threatened, you need to pull out, and you need to have the proper work done to make the environment safe for your children.
Many people here today believe it's the Toronto District School Board who should address these issues, but some here today believe the onus falls on the provincial government to provide funding.
Your government has been choking the funding. You point to an overall number.
Respectfully, I have to disagree with you. We have not been.
If you look at it, the government that he chose to run for decided to freeze funding for infrastructure, and that's the reason why they can't do the repairs that are necessary.
Parents here today say their ultimate goal is just to have a safe learning environment for their children. Patrick Valois, Humber News.
It's a big anniversary for an important event for book lovers everywhere. The 35th International Festival of Authors is underway in Toronto at Harbourfront, and our reporter Ainsley Smith was there and has a report.
But back to my favorite subject, me.
Calling literary lovers, the International Festival of Authors is back for its 35th edition. The Contemporary Literature Festival features readings, Q&As, awards, and roundtable discussions with notable authors. And the price tag for students? Free. IFOA Communications Manager Maeve O'Regan says it's all a matter of getting in touch.
All they have to do is call the box office to reserve tickets in advance, let them know that they're a student, and as long as you can show your student card at the box office, those tickets are yours.
Throughout its 35 years, the IFOA has brought together many notable authors to Toronto. Some guest speakers include Stephen King, Charlotte Gray, and this year's guest speaker, Anne-Marie MacDonald. Students can not only see authors from around the world, but some of Humber's very own faculty. Next week, Humber's faculty will be having their very own roundtable discussion. O'Regan says the authors, both international and Humber alike, keep students coming back all these years.
It has a lot to do with the authors that we bring each year. We've got an amazing selection this year, and we do every year. And I think we also introduce people to new voices they've never heard before, which is something they continue to come back for.
And with its kickoff this week, students of all ages have been invited to come out. Ainsley Smith, Humber News.
Here at Humber, all your questions about sex and nutrition are about to be answered. Jordan Finkelstein has the details.
Humber's nursing students are taking charge and trying to raise health awareness around campus. They are walking the halls, giving out goodies, and answering students' questions about lifestyle and sexual safety. Jassy and other nursing students say they're getting others involved in unique ways.
We're asking fun trivia questions, and hopefully if they get it right, they'll win some prizes. If not, they still get prizes, but also they learn something new.
Because a lot of research shows that the post-secondary itself, they're very prone to developing STIs and diabetes and other health conditions, so we just kind of want to prevent it and just like to really use condoms.
Prizes came with, I'm getting some condoms and then, Apple. Pretty good idea considering that the question was what age group does HIV occur more, and it was in my age group, so giving out to practice safe sex is probably a great idea for it.
You can find the nursing students walking around campus for the rest of the day. They'll all be wearing red pom-poms on their head. If you happen to miss them today, they'll be back on October 31st, Halloween Day, to promote their health fair. Jordan Finkelstein, Humber News.
It's Fashion Week in Toronto, and a pop-up shop featuring local designers has opened. Earl Abulahan has a story.
It's Fashion Week in Toronto, and a small pop-up shop near Spadina on Adelaide is trying to highlight emerging designers in the local scene. Kelly Can is the co-founder of the shop, which carries women's sizes 4 to 16, as well as eco-friendly designs.
So we are the Style Initiative, and this is our second pop-up that we are holding. We are a new concept in retail, and right now we are holding our the pop-up for Fall 2014. We are featuring 6 designers, all local Torontonian designer sets, and everything in the store is locally made.
Charmaine Bertram is another Toronto designer. Her piece is repurposing recycled fabrics and jackets, combining them to create something unique. Marcus McLean, manager for Pop 404, says he enjoys providing local entrepreneurs a platform to grow their businesses.
An opportunity to be able to access the marketplace, to connect with customers, to have the short-term retail, a brand activation space. So we don't just do fashion-based pieces. We also do young brands that are like the e-cigarette folks are here for a few weeks at Take a Hit.
Those looking for high-quality fashions in your size, made by designers in your city, should definitely check out 404 Adelaide Street and the Style Initiative until October 31st. I'm Earl Abulahan, Humber News.
It's a rare and beautiful sight to see. A solar eclipse occurred yesterday, and it will be the last one until 2017. This video showcases a stunning shot of the solar eclipse that happened yesterday. For a brief moment, the sun is obscured while the moon passes between it and the Earth. When we come back, we'll tell you what's happening in the world of sports, and Adriana Zhang will have your 3-day forecast.
No concerns over weather. It's a beautiful sunny day out today, so you better enjoy it while it lasts. We'll have your 3-day weather forecast and more after the break.
After the break, we will have all your sports news, but for now, we leave you with the Queen. The Queen celebrated the opening of the Information Age exhibit at the Science Museum in London with a tweet. She says, "It was a pleasure opening the exhibit and hopes people enjoy visiting." The next tweet reassured followers that it really was the Queen, tweeting, "If that wasn't enough, a picture was tweeted using the hashtag #QueenTweets."